Hey everybody, welcome back. I am Carrick, and we are playing Democracy 4. While it is in development, we are playing as the United States, and we are creating the sort of like a conservative theocracy of America over here. We have everybody in our country considers themselves to be religious, and many of them are patriots, many of them are capitalists and of middle income, even environmentalists, interestingly enough, and conservatives. And we are, in fact, I'm kind of surprised we're not driving more conservative membership, to be completely honest. Let's look at membership. Narcotics. Anyways, point of the story is, if you guys are just catching us, feel free to check down below for the playlist link and get started with us on the first episode. But this is I don't know, maybe this is like Trump's America or something. Who knows? But we're just having a good time and just messing around with it. It seems to be actually quite successful within this simulation. I think there was an update, actually. I'm just now learning, because I was on the Reddit for this a little bit, and I'm learning that there was actually an update for this that I think has made it a little bit easier, especially for two-party. I think also just having it be a two-party system makes it a little bit easier within the simulation of the game, because we basically have everybody's kind of on our side of things. Like if we go to where do we go to the electioneering? Is this it? No. Where's the electioneering up here? Right here, right? It just everybody is on our side, so presumably all these people are voting for us, and no one's voting against us. And I don't know what would actually shift that, what would change that. I mean, some of these events that are happening are pretty devastating. We don't have much political capital. Let's go to the next turn and start a fresh turn here. A garbage scam. Uh-oh. Tons of garbage shipped abroad for recycling has been returned. The containers full of unwanted waste from our society was falsely labeled as recyclable plastic. Environmentalists are outraged by the fundamental failure of our country's recycling program. This national embarrassment has made headlines around the world. Making $60 billion in surplus. We could figure out what to spend that on. Our maximum political capital is 42, so we do want to spend a little bit of political capital before we go to the next turn. I think some of the things we still want to do potentially is there is a banning divorce. Would make sense. There's some policies that we could try to get rid of as well. DEA might make sense. I think we've activated a lot of stuff in here that we care about, although I mean something like driverless cars is just seems to be good for everybody. I mean, everybody likes this. I don't know how conservatives would feel about driverless cars, though. Probably not super good and warm and fuzzy about it. We don't want to ban private education or private health care. Oh, we want to force the force political, military, religious oath. That's what we want. 57% of the people like this. This is good. This is good. So it takes 28 political capital for that. That's something we're going to want to do. We might need to go in here and actually boot out some of these things over here that are not in line with conservative values. Like, actually, what would this cost us to reduce this down? And again, this isn't exactly like... It's one of those things that you have to be very... I feel like I have to be... I think people, obviously, that are watching this series know that we're just creating an interesting and quite frankly, maybe a scary world. But it is... I don't know. It's... we're role-playing within the simulation, right? And just seeing how the game handles something like this, I guess. But here we can actually ban a gay marriage. And the religious, how do we just cancel it altogether? What I don't quite understand here is even if we go to none, religious are still upset just at the thought of even thinking about it. But I don't understand why it's not letting us. Oh, to cancel. Holy cow, to cancel this, it actually takes 36 to completely wipe it out. It takes 36. 6 political capital. We could actually bump up gated communities. Conservatives love this. Crime would go down. That's only 8 political. Yeah, let's bump up gated communities. Just have everybody living in a gated community except for those, you know, less fortunate, which would be a big chunk of the population most likely. Although actually, to be fair, there's almost no one in our society that actually considers themselves to be poor. Holy cow, do we have like no poverty? That's crazy. If we have very little poverty, what does that mean for the cost? Oh, no way. We're not paying anything for food stamps. We have no poor in our this is insane. So we could max this out, but we're not actually paying anything. So we're getting all of this benefit without even paying anything here. That's kind of silly. I think we've beat the game, guys, or something. This is crazy. Oil drilling opportunity sounds like a fantastic idea. Allow the drilling. There are literally billions of barrels of oil right here on our soil, and the current law is preventing us from drilling it. Instead, we are importing oil from other countries. Is that actually true? I'm teasing because we have a very good energy system within the simulation that we're operating, right? We got like tons of nuclear, we got tons of subsidies for clean energy. I think we're not doing anything that inhibits oil production as well. And I think oil demand's actually pretty low. But I think, yeah, we're going to do this either way. I don't want to hurt the environment. But if we mess up the environmentalists, that's fine. But realistically, we do have issues with like pollution and stuff. This is going down though, so that's good. That's good. Green Electronics Initiative. Oh, did we actually activate this? Okay. Okay. So if we go to CO2 emissions, that's going down. Hopefully as that goes down, that'll bring up the environment. This is there, but we need to get this gone, right? If this was gone, farmers would be a lot happier. How many people in our society actually consider themselves to be farmers? A chunk. Not a huge chunk, but a chunk. Respiratory disease is something that's been very difficult to bring this down. Very difficult to bring that down. We have the highest standards. Now, I guess one thing, see, we don't really thematically want to do this, but I guess this is where the carbon taxation would come in. This is where increasing the petrol tax would come in. But we don't want to do that. I don't think we want to do that. I don't think that fits in line with what we're trying to do. The death penalty. Compassion goes way down. For most crime, holy cow, that's kind of intense. 35 political capital in order to do this. Even the religious are upset about this. Which I think makes sense. Well, it's kind of interesting because, like, realistically, like, I mean, if you're actually going by, you know, I mean, there's kind of like a distortion, I think, of religious ideology in the United States specifically, and how it mixes with conservative ideas and right-wing thought and stuff like that, right? Because I think if you actually just being religious, I don't think explicitly means that you're right-wing necessarily. You know what I mean? So in this case, I think this is accurate to say that under the idea of you know, Christian values and stuff, I don't think you would actually morally be for something like the death penalty. Assuming, you know what I mean? So, but that's interesting. Do conservatives, or are conservatives on the list? They are on the list. They do like it. Conservatives like this, though. Conservatives do like this. Community policing? We don't need this. We can cancel it for 2. It tells us right down here we can cancel it for 2. We actually go here and remove this now? Yes, we can. It's very expensive to do that. Alternatively, we can go in here and just do some different things. Like take that religious oath. which is going to be law and order, right? Or is it public services? Force, political, military, religious oath. Yes. 69% of the country wants this to be a thing. Booyah. Nice. End life recycling law. What is this referring to? One of the downsides of a consumer society is that so many products end up just thrown into a landfill at the end of their life. One solution is to encourage people to recycle, but recently there is a push to place this burden on the manufacturers of large domestic appliances, giving them a legal duty to take back their old products and recycle them. Cannot continue to just throw more and more stuff into holes in the ground, hoping it will go away. By forcing, reject the law. It sounds like a simple practice, but this would place a huge burden on the companies manufacturers based in our country. We cannot enforce this overseas, meaning we are simply placing a pointless regulation burden on our own industry. If we could actually figure out something that we could actually do with our money, praise the Lord, for our country has truly achieved the heights of impressive piety. More importantly, we are not teaching this evolution nonsense and keeping the faith in our schools. Amen. Amen. Is this kicked in yet? I don't know. It looks like pollution is going down, but I don't know. Reforestation seems bugged. I'm wondering if that policy is actually just straight up bugged. I don't know if we need to reactivate it or something. We have reforestation, but it doesn't seem to actually be kicking in. It doesn't seem to be having an effect on these things. It's supposed to knock out pollution, but it's just lingering, saying it hasn't fully been taken up yet. That's right. We're actually paying $23 billion of married tax allowance. So everybody's getting married. And then have we banned divorce yet to make sure they stay married? Close. We need 32 political capital. We're a little short on that, to be honest. So let's see if we can do something intermediately. Actually, I don't even know what I'm talking about here. I'm being a doofus. Selective schooling. Yeah, we talked about this. I think conservatives like the idea of boosting this up so that we could subsidize the best schools. The best schools. Perfect. Let's go to the next turn. I don't think we need to make any pledges. I think for the most part we are going to win in a landslide. Start the count. Keep counting. Keep counting. Keep counting. See, I feel like there's a little bit of a balance issue, right? This game is a development, right? We're actually getting, it's interesting that we're turning out the non-voters. People are just so excited. People are just so excited to have us here. Look at the skill of these peeps. It's crazy. We get the free reshuffle there. Nice. 1.8 for foreign policy. Oh, there's a 2.2 for foreign policy, although he would have been good for transport as well. 1.8. You know, I might take this person. Capitalist and middle income. So he actually really appeases to the... these people are just they're ecstatic. They're ecstatic to be working here. Whoa! Porn stars publicly accused you of having an affair with them. And you have paid hush money to keep your indiscretion a secret. Worse, though, the hush money came out of the campaign finances, which is a crime. Time to find a low-ranking lackey to take the fall for the payment, deny the affair, and pay off your accuser to make this go away. Conservatives actually do not like this. Trustworthiness has taken a dive. What is our actual trustworthiness looking at? Our perceptions. We're a strong leader. That's all that matters. We're a strong leader. There we go. But I don't think there's really anything that could spin this in a different direction. Actually, one thing we need to do very quickly as well is we need to bump up the term limit so that we have unlimited... Wait a second, we're giving art subsidies? The circuses, yeah. Those are important. Those are important. We need the circus to come down. That's good. Actually, what does this actually do for us if we were to bump it up? tourism, education, foreign relations. It's all good stuff. What the heck? Subsidize the arts. And give them, as long as they're, you know, maybe focused on doing reenactments of the nativity or something, right? Potentially, would be good. So there you go. What was the thing we wanted to do? We wanted to adjust term limits one more. There we go. Unlimited term limits. We are now locked in. Education could come up a little bit, but health and GDP are off the charts. Poverty is at an all-time low. Factory farming. Leave unchanged. You know, there's nothing wrong with the factory farming. Farmers are actually all about this. Capitalists like this. There you go. Oh, there's a Donald Trump quote on there, and I didn't read it. Wait, can we go back and see that? I suppose with houses and assets, then I guess I would be a millionaire. But so are a lot of people. Oh, that's Boris Johnson. Boris Johnson said that. I wonder what the I wonder what that Trump quote was. Boris Johnson supposes he's a millionaire, supposedly, and you know, if we're counting up all of his assets, but so would a lot of people. It's actually kind of a funny quote because it's like horribly inaccurate and out of touch. That's probably the point of the quote, and the fact that it showed up here. 45 political capital? Oh, what just happened? Is it because we won an election? We have an 86 maximum. We could build the wall. We have the money for this. We must build the wall. We need to fund it completely. Yes. Good. Global economy is in a recession. Ooh, that's not looking good right there. That is not looking good right there. We have school sponsorship. A large number of corporations have expressed an interest in investing in our school system. Everything from free school books to entire sports centers is offered in return for some branding and promotional. Absolutely, this sounds fantastic. Sounds absolutely fantastic. I don't see any issue in this whatsoever. Get the corporations into the school system. Get that corporate money in there. Why did our maximum political capital go like from 85? I wish there was no maximum political capital. Because a lot of times I feel like I'm spending time trying to shave off just barely enough political capital so that I can go to the next turn so I can save the big chunk there and then sort of keep, you know, do something big like build the wall. Driverless cars, that takes 28 political capital. This is going to take 32. This is going to take 48. We had enough technically to do this, but detention without trial, that'd be a good one. ID cards, this would be a good one as well. It is rather, it is a lot of political capital as well. Secret courts, sounds like there's nothing bad could come of that. Climate change adaptation fund. You know, I'm just not convinced on this. I'm just not convinced. National anthem in schools, sounds like a good idea. This is one of the last things I think we want to do in this section for public services. Let's make sure that everybody knows the national anthem. The weird thing is, do they still do this in school? I don't know. I mean, I always remember doing national anthem like in elementary school, but I think after that you stopped doing it. And that water shortage. That water shortage. Starting to be a problem over here. If the vertical farm subsidies are like nearly maxed out. Why are they not maxed out? Did we not have the political capital to do that originally? Or did we say that the capitalists didn't like it, so we kind of veered away from doing it? Women's March. Let's go. Power to the people. Economic forecast. It seems like, yeah, that globally, still not doing good. It says recession, but it looks like it's actually upticking right now. So I don't know if it's just talking about the future or what exactly there. I think the GDP capping out like that is a problem. And the global economy doesn't actually seem to have even that much of an effect. Maybe it's not balanced to be strong enough. It seems like early in the game it can be devastating when you're trying to get going, but then later it seems like we're almost partially immune to it. Guys, we got 38 political capital, lots of stuff to do here. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Thank you everybody for watching this run. I think we're coming to a close here. I think there's only a few more policies that we want to do. We have unlimited term limits. I would have liked to have gotten rid of these crises, but a big issue is like we just can't seem to get this pollution down without admitting to climate change. Like we can't, without enacting some of the larger, more fundamental fixes, you know what I mean? But I think plant-based diets, if I'm not mistaken, are off the charts, presumably. Yeah, they're off the charts. That should be bringing down water usage and emissions and stuff, but it doesn't seem to be doing it enough. Doesn't seem to be doing it enough. Guys, thanks everybody for hanging out. I'll see you guys in the next one as we continue to make the conservative theocracy of America. Have a good one, guys.